Minister, this is my 4th year as a TD, and this is my 4th year debating on school transport. As bad as it was, last year the provision to give free school seats on the transport scheme to everyone in the audience backfired badly. Private operators were left without any student on their buses and having to charge double to those who were left. Ultimately, their mantra now is any route but a school route, including the fact that they can only provide a driver if contracted to the school transport scheme under 70 years of age. A notion that is years old, 30 years old in fact, and the Secretary-General of the Department of Transport should be called to task. He has been advised of this by me, certainly, for 4 years now, and he hasn't changed it, and we're conducting a review every year since I've mentioned it, and we haven't seen the results of it yet. You don't need a review. You need to understand where people operate privately and where there's a school transport scheme that don't marry. We had the worst increase in fuel prices 2 years in a row, and it took the department almost 3 years to do anything for the operators that they were contracting, which in most of that time their operations were unsustainable and they were playing catch-up. So that's why they don't contract to the school transport scheme, and that's why this year we have many routes that can't be fulfilled. It's not just children and families who didn't get seats on the bus. There are routes that don't even have buses for all of the aforementioned reasons, and I'm not sure what the review is going to yield that I haven't informed you of for the last 4 years. I mean, there was a headline in a local paper last week which was completely misleading, a headline in a Wexford paper which intimated that we had given almost 1,123 extra school bus seats to students. In fact, what we had done was given 1,123 extra TAM seats, which are temporary alleviated measures taken from concessionary ticket holders whose middle income earning parents are hard pressed to stay home to bring them to school, and given them to the temporary applicants. So we didn't increase it, we just moved them around, and we left 1,100 odd students without seats. It's a shame on this government. It's a shame. I take no joy in the fact that every backbencher in this government has come in here today to tell you what a mess you've made of it, and to tell you how ailing parents are, middle income earning, hard pressed, 2-parent families working who can't get their children to school, parents risking their children going to school on bikes when they know perfectly well that there should be an alternative for the tax that they're paying. At what stage, or what would have to happen for the Department of Transport to get a reprimand from this government or its ministers to say, why have you not sorted this mess out? This is something that's well known, and it's not something that we can do overnight. There should be preparation for where we take in, and I absolutely refute the figures that Deputy O'Dowd put of over 5,000 children. There's nearly 1,100 in Wexford, and we have 26 counties who are availing of the transport scheme. So I'm sure there's a lot more children than that we're servicing that have come in that we didn't plan for. And leaving those in the lurch who have actually had tickets for 2, 3 and 4 years, and 5 in some cases, and who are now not able to attain their last year in school on the school bus with their friends. This is absolutely unnecessary, and it's a disgrace that we should actually be talking about it, given that it's been 4 years since I've been elected anyway, which I'd say is probably 24 for everybody else. And it's a pity that the mainline minister isn't here, because it's absolutely, she's the one responsible in her department who created a big spin by giving free school transport seats, and the following year put many private operators out of business. And there's nobody to take up the slack. So I'd think on and I'd plan properly, if you could at all, Minister.